Hey girl, hey, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are new, hey, I'm so glad you're here. My name is Jasmine and I help Christian women push past the limits of their comfort zone and chase hard after what the Lord has placed on their heart. And so I'm here today to talk to you guys about the idea of starting. Yes, like a super simple idea. I feel like sometimes really straightforward, but so hard to do. But before I get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below, letting me know if you're new to our community. I'm really, really glad you're here. And today we're just gonna jump right into talking about starting. So this idea of starting, super simple concept, but not always the easiest thing to do. Especially, you know, a lot of my friends, and I am a younger 20-something, I'm a 24-year-old. So you know, sometimes starting new things, business ventures, whatever, you don't always feel qualified to do it. And so I have a small but really kind of important example of how when I tapped into just starting, how the Lord really opened up a lot of windows and doors and just any kind of openings for me, and it blew my mind. So basically, I decided that I was gonna help my mom with marketing for her private practice. She is a therapist, so she has her own private practice. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna help you with marketing and all that stuff. And I went to school for this, like, you know, whatever. But then I came to this realization, like, and I got this imposter syndrome, like, am I qualified to do this? What do I even do? Where do I start? I don't know what to do. And so basically, in that moment, I was like, okay, woosah, deep breath, what can I do? I can jump right in, right? Or I can like back away slowly and be like, oh mom, I was just kidding. Maybe this isn't a good idea. But I realized that there's power in starting. And ever since then, like it's been on my mind and I was like, oh, I have to share this with my girls. I have to share this with my community and talk to them about this. And so once I started, like, mind you, have no background in like web development and things like that, I was revamping my mom's entire website. So I was like, okay, here we go. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that colors are involved. I know that marketing, copyright is involved. I know that she wants it to look a certain way. I know that we have to do a photo shoot. And so I broke it down into bite-sized pieces and then I just went from there. Well, fast forward, I helped my mom launch a beautiful website. It was awesome. And I've had probably about 3 different people contact me about wanting me to redo their website. And I'm just like, it's like blowing my mind because I'm like, oh, no, wait. I think you're confused because like, I am not a web developer, but like, what? But that is how the Lord works. Like when we start something and we are like, Lord, I give it to you. My full reliance is on you. Like I cannot do this on my own. That is when he really works his magic. That's really when his power is shown and he opens up doors that maybe you don't feel qualified to walk into, but there's people asking you to revamp their website and you're not even a web developer. So I say all that to say, starting is super important. And I wanted to give you guys 3 or 4, no, I think it's 3. Yeah, just 3 little ways that you can kickstart what you're wanting to do and rest in the power that God has given you on the inside. So number 1, pray for clarity, right? So one big thing that I struggle with is that I feel like I have to have all the answers or be in control of everything in order to get stuff done and start it. So praying for clarity. Like if you're confused and you're like, okay, Lord, like I have this desire in my heart to like do more, or be a world changer, or whatever. Like you have to take the time to pause and ask for clarity and God will absolutely give that to you. One verse that I wanna leave you guys with is Psalm 25:4 that says, show me your ways, Lord, and teach me your paths. I think that's a great prayer to pray. Like I'm really huge on praying scripture, but I think praying for clarity will help you to get the clarity that you need to start on whatever you have. And honestly, here's the thing. Most of the time, we know the desires of our heart. God knows the desires of our heart. And we are like, okay, I want to start this business, but like, I want to pray for clarity on whether to start or not. Like, I'm not talking about in that instance. Like if you have this desire in your heart and you're like, okay, Lord, open up these doors. I feel like this is a desire that you have for me. I would pray for clarity on specific things. So if you know you want to start a business, but you don't know what business you want to start, like what type of business, then you can pray like, hey Lord, I need clarity on what type of business to start. I love nails and hair. Should I start a nail business? Should I start a hair business? Just asking for that clarity in the midst of starting, there's a lot of power in that. And I feel like the Lord will absolutely bless your faith in starting, while also praying for clarity. So praying for clarity is like step number 1, right? Step number 2, you have to ask yourself, like, what are your interests? What are your hobbies? What are those things that like get you excited to get up out of bed in the morning? And this is what I had to think about with my YouTube channel. Like, I was trying to figure out how and who and what I wanted to do on YouTube specifically to serve others. And at the end of the day, I got to a point where I was like, I don't know. So I prayed for clarity. And then I was like, okay, what are those things that get me up out of bed in the morning? What are those things that get me excited? What do I love to do? Well, I figured out I love to help people, and I love business, and I love marketing. Okay, awesome. And I'm passionate about my faith. Like, number 1, that I'm passionate about my faith. So those were the 4 things. I'm like, okay, Lord, like, give me clarity on this. This is what I know that I love and love to do. This is what I know that gets me up out of bed in the morning. So I simmered on that for a while. And mind you guys, like, it doesn't come instantly. Like, sometimes you can pray for clarity. Sometimes you can ask the Lord to give you a straight path of what you want. But sometimes it takes trial and error, and you won't always get there right away. But it's about, again, starting and just doing what you have to do in the midst of the unknowns so that you can make that room for the Lord to move. And so praying for clarity, and then figuring out what are my hobbies, what are my interests, what are those things that get me up out of bed in the morning, okay? So this is for the person who is like totally lost as to their purpose, as to what they want to do. This is kind of a system or a method for you. But even if you kind of know what you want to do, it's always good to inquire of the Lord before you step out on faith and do that thing, so that you're not walking outside of his will. And so number 3 is, when you choose to start, God will be able to provide clarity about your purpose, right? So I feel like a lot of people, they kind of sit there and like, they're like, okay, like, what is my purpose? What's my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? Lord, what is my purpose? And here's the thing, it won't fall out of the sky. It just won't. It won't fall out of the sky. It won't be handed to you on a silver platter. It will not be like an exchange of like, oh, I got what I needed now. Thank you, Lord. But honestly, I feel like the best way that you can find your purpose is in starting. So again, asking the Lord for clarity, figuring out what are my hobbies, my interests, those things that get me up out of bed in the morning, those things that I'm passionate about, right? And then it's starting those things. So exploration is so important. If you're like, okay, I feel that I love horses, or I love painting nails, or I love doing hair, or I love doing whatever. When you are not acting on those hobbies or things that you love to do, or operating in that in some way, shape, or form, it doesn't have to be a business, but if you're not exploring those things that you love, you will not be able to develop and understand what you truly are passionate about and what really drives you, what makes you tick, what are the things that make you cry, Like, you won't be able to discover those things unless you tap into them. And so that's why it's so important when starting to just do it. Like, it's such a simple practice, and I know I hate to like give such bare bones and practical advice, but I feel like it's so good and we need to be reminded of it. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, you have to ask the Lord for clarity, figure out those dreams and passions that you have and all that good stuff, and start tapping into those hobbies and interests that you have to explore and understand yourself more and understand the gifts that God has given you. And so, yeah, I mean, I just encourage you, make room, like just explore, try stuff out. That's literally what I did in college leading up to now. Like, I started a fashion magazine. Was I planning on starting a fashion magazine? No, but I was passionate about fashion. I loved helping people. I loved bringing people together. And so I was like, okay, this would be a cool avenue to explore. Do I have all the answers? Absolutely, hecking no. But the point is that I'm starting and I'm exploring and I'm trusting God in the process. So one quote that I want to leave you guys with, sorry, just grabbing my phone. one quote that I want to leave you guys with of that I thought was extremely, extremely powerful, that I read in the first 15 devotional. It says, to live for heaven is to throw off every weight that would hinder us from pursuing the fullness of relationship with Jesus. To live for heaven is to declare with our thoughts, actions, and emotions that Jesus truly is Lord of Lords and King of Kings, and that he is worthy of our lives. To live for heaven is to make as much room in our hearts for Jesus as possible. And so at the end of the day, like, our biggest reminder, girlies, is that we are to live for Jesus. We are living for eternity. We are living to advance the kingdom. So that's our first mission and purpose above anything else. And at the end of the day, when you are trying to pursue that and you're trying to pursue the Lord diligently, he will give you the desires of your heart. He will open up and make room for those other desires that you feel stirring on the inside of you based on your passions and your interests and the things that you're wanting to pursue. And he can use you as you draw closer to him to change the world and to do the things that you've always wanted to do. So we're gonna take a deep breath because I know it's a lot. Starting can be so scary. Starting can feel like, okay, I'm like here and the mountaintop is like there and I just can't do it. Like there's no way. Like I can't start working out 5 days a week and I can't start this business and I can't. And we tell ourselves that we can't. But at the end of the day, like I'm realizing that it's starting with those daily habits. Like what is that one small thing that I can do today to reach that mountaintop goal or those dreams or those plans or those desires that the Lord has placed in my heart? And if I can just start with this one little thing, I know in my head that I don't have to be paralyzed with fear when it comes to starting and just go after the dreams and the plans that I have in my heart. So, girl, you got this. I'm believing in you. I'm believing for you. I would love to know, comment down below and let me know the dreams or the goals or the hobbies or the things that you are going to start pursuing today. And it doesn't have to be like, okay, I'm passionate about horses, so I'm literally gonna go horse riding today. But no, what is one thing? Just write it down and let me know in the comments that one thing that you're choosing to do today or this week that will push you towards your hobbies, your passions, your goals, your dreams. And I can't wait to chat it up with you and see how you continue to grow and how you continue to learn. I want this to be a community where we are growing together. I do not have it all figured out. I'm preaching to myself as much as I'm talking to you guys. I'm like, Jasmine, you have to start, you have to do this. And so this is me starting. This is us starting, and I'm really excited to go on this journey with you guys. We got this. I believe in you. You have everything that you need on the inside of you to accomplish all the dreams and goals that the Lord has for you. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you for coming to my little corner of the internet, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.